So what we're gonna do is we're gonna download the ISO. So this is the Ubuntu operating system website where we can download the ISO. So this is the page, and also we're gonna install Windows as well. So we're going to install two operating systems. One is Linux and another is Windows. Linux is the one which we saw, which is Ubuntu, and Windows is here in the MSDN subscription, Visual Studio subscription. That's where we download the Windows operating system. Normally, if you buy a laptop or something, you get Windows pre-installed. You normally don't go through this particular step. In our case, we have created a hardware by ourselves, so we don't have any pre-install operating system and we need to install from the ISO. So there are two options. We can install from a disk. You can purchase the Windows 10. So you can purchase the Windows 10 like this, and then we can get the DVD from the purchase and install from the DVD. Or like we are going to do, we can download the ISO and burn it into the disk and install. So we are going with the download option. So I have already finished the download and the files are available here. So this is the Windows 10 Enterprise ISO, and this is the Ubuntu Desktop ISO. These are the bootable ISO files we're going to install into the hard disk. So first we're going to go with the Windows, and then we're going to install Ubuntu on top of it. So we are not going to have a dual boot. We will erase the initial operating system and install the second one. That's what we're going to do. So we have a pen drive connected. So this is the pen drive which is connected, and we're gonna burn the ISO which we saw here into the pen drive. For burning, so we cannot simply copy the ISO. So for example, if I copy this file, just right click copy and paste it into the pen drive, it won't become bootable. To make it bootable, I'm using a software called ISO to USB. There are different softwares available. So this is a free software which we can install and use it for burning. If you are doing this by yourself, you can download ISO to USB. Let me start with the installation of this tool, ISO to USB, for burning the ISO to the pen drive. So it doesn't have any complicated installation steps or anything. I'm just going with all defaults. It's a pretty small software. I'm gonna launch it right here. So first thing it asks is an ISO file, obviously. So the input is an ISO file. So I'm gonna select the Windows ISO file, which we saw. I have selected the Windows 10 ISO file. Now the target is, of course, there is only one drive which is connected, one pen drive. So I'm going to select that target. Everything I'm going to go with the default. And of course, we need this particular checkbox. As you can see, this is a checkbox which makes this thing bootable. I'm going to check this to make the drive bootable, and I'm going to click on burn. So it is giving this warning. It will be formatted. Format means erase a USB drive, and it's going to burn the ISO. So I'm going to click S. There is a status. It is showing in the down. So this is the status of the burning, which is there in the bottom. So it'll take a couple of minutes while it copies the ISO file to the pen drive. So the burning of the ISO is successful. So I'm going to click OK. So let's have a quick look into the drive. So this is the drive which we just burned. The drive has this many files for the operating system. It looks pretty much like a setup. The content of the boot sector we can't see here. So there is a boot sector for this pen drive. which is having a valid data, which is ultimately pointing to the files here, but the actual content of the boot sector we can't see. It's a normal file system browser, but it has a setup.exe and the rest of the supporting files.
Question.
Yes.
Does a pen drive has a boot sector like hard disk?
Yes. Absolutely good question. Only device drives which has a boot sector can be used as a bootable device. This pen drive has a boot sector, so that's why we are able to make it bootable. So there are types of devices which doesn't have a boot sector. So those kind of devices we can't use for storage devices, we can't use for bootable purposes.
Maybe all pen drives have boot sector.
Yes, most of the pen drives available here in normal these days has a boot sector inside. Yeah.
As well as CD.
Yes, as well as CD. Yes, all the writable CDs. Yes, have a boot sector. In fact, some of the SD cards are bootable as well. So they detect as a drive and they have a boot sector. All right. So we have burned the Windows ISO into the USB. So what we can do is we can burn the Ubuntu as well. So we're gonna install the Ubuntu as well. So I will remove the Windows pen drive and I will put another pen drive to burn the Ubuntu.
Question.
Yes.
Can we do it in the same pen drive? We can't.
No, we can't. At least not that I'm aware about. This particular disk has a boot sector, which is pointing to this installation, which you're seeing right here. And the Linux one will be pointing to its own files. So,
but we can install different operating system in single hard disk.
That is true. If you can have a dual boot. So the dual boot works is like you will have a special software which handles the boot, and from there you switch into different operating systems. So there will be a boot menu comes up to select the operating system, and in that you can go to Linux or Windows. And when you select Linux, it will go to the boot of Linux. All right, so let's burn the Ubuntu now. So I'm going to unplug this particular drive. So this is a different drive. We are using it for Ubuntu. Yeah, so I have plugged in the new pen drive to burn the Ubuntu image. To burn the Ubuntu image, we'll be using another software, not ISO to USB, because ISO to USB is normally recommended for Windows. I have seen it working for Linux as well, but Ubuntu recommends a different software called Rufus. That is also a free software which we can use to burn the ISO to the USB. So let me start it. So this is the Rufus. So I have selected the device. So this is the device which we can burn. Pretty much similar interface as the ISO to USB. So here I'm going to select the ISO image like last time. So this time I'm going to select Ubuntu. Rest all I'm going to select default and I'm going to click start. So this is a dependency for this software. I'm going to click yes. I'm going to click OK to this. OK again. All right, so our second USB for Ubuntu is finished as well. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna change the BIOS setting of the computer we made yesterday, and we're gonna boot from one of these drives. So you can pick which operating system we're gonna install first, Windows or Linux.
Windows.
Okay, so we'll go with Windows then. Okay, so I'm gonna close this and we're gonna switch back to our system which we built yesterday.